Hey y'all, little vertical hope today from Faith Builders Ministries found in Ruth 1:8. It is amazing. Most of you know the story of Naomi and Ruth, but I just wanted to shed some light on a couple of things that I picked out of it this morning. And this is what it says. Naomi had just lost her husband and her two sons, and so she's talking to her daughter-in-laws, and she says this, "Then Naomi said to her daughter-in-laws, 'Go back, each of you, to your mother's home.'" In other words, go back to where it's safe. "May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to your dad and to me." I just wanted to tell you, there's so much more to this story. And as I was reading, I read that Naomi kissed them both, and 3 times she told them to go back to their mother, go back to their own hometown, because she's leaving. She's packing up, she's done, she's heading out. And she says, "Listen, girls, I'm going to tell you what, you've lost your husbands, I've lost my son. I want you to go back to your mother's home. I want you to go ahead and try to find another husband to take care of you, because back then to be a widow, you got taken care of. It was almost a disgrace if you didn't, because you didn't have, and she didn't have any sons. And so there was no one really to take care of her. So she's like, you know what, I'm leaving. I've lost everything." I don't know how many of you feel like that out there, but I felt like that a time or two. But she says, but she has the betterment of who it might be following her. She takes a conscious censor of who's following her. And she says, "Girls, what's going to be best for you is you to go to your mother's home. And you know what? Pray that the Lord bring you another husband so you can be taken care of, so you're not left like me." And so Ruth and Ophrah went ahead and followed her. And again, she said it again, "Girls, go back to your mother, go back to your hometown." 3 times she did that. And finally, Orpah said this, kissed Naomi goodbye and said, "I'm heading out. I'm going to go back to my mother's home. I'm going to go." And what she was saying is what I felt like I gleaned from it today is what she was saying, I'm going to go back to comfortable. I'm going to go back to comfy. I'm going to go back to my mama's cooking. I'm going to go back to my mama's house. I'm going to go back to my mama's way of doing things. I'm going to get back up underneath my mama's roof. And I'm just going to go back to what I know, what I feel comfortable with. And I want to tell you this. I don't believe for one, not even 2 or 3 seconds, that we were called to be comfortable. I just don't believe it. I believe everything Jesus did showed uncomfortable. You know, to walk on the water, to trust his Father, the garden when he was going to be crucified, just sweating tears that would look like blood, crying out to his Father, "Please take this cup from me. If it can pass from me, let it pass." This is uncomfortable. This is going to get real uncomfortable. This is going to hurt. "Lord, my Father in heaven, take this from me." That was not comfortable. I believe each disciple that was called wasn't comfortable to leave their professions behind, wasn't comfortable to leave what they already known and the world they known and the occupation they known to follow Jesus. That was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for Peter to say, to trust that Jesus himself was going to build his church upon him. It was uncomfortable for Jesus to go back to his hometown when they only considered him a carpenter. Isn't that Mary and Joseph's son? Isn't he just a carpenter? That might have been uncomfortable. But I don't believe we were called to be comfortable. And I'm going to tell you what, this is what Ruth did. Ruth says, you know what? This is what I felt in my spirit this morning. She says, I'm going to bypass comfortable. I'm going to bypass going back to my mama. I'm going to bypass what maybe the world has to offer me, and I'm going to follow Naomi and her God. And I'm going to do something that's uncomfortable. And look what happened. I mean, God ended up blessing her. She's in the line, the genealogy of Jesus Christ himself. She is in that line in Matthew 1:18. She is included in those 42 people. Because I believe this. I believe Ruth was willing to do the uncomfortable thing, the unnormal, not what would make sense to the flesh, but what made sense to the spirit, what made sense to her to go and follow Naomi. And I want to say to you today, I want to encourage you today that God has called some of you. I mean, he's called all of you, but some of you are in that moment right now. You are really at that Jordan River bank, whether you're going to cross over or you're going to stand there on the banks of the Jordan and spend another 10, 15 years in the wilderness. You're there and you're saying, this is uncomfortable. I don't know if I can do this, God. This is too uncomfortable. I don't feel comfortable speaking. I don't feel comfortable writing. I don't feel comfortable switching jobs. I don't feel comfortable selling my house. I don't feel comfortable starting a homeless ministry. I don't feel comfortable sharing my testimony. I don't feel comfortable calling some people out in my life that's done nothing but hinder me and put me down and put me in a box. I don't feel comfortable for walking away from some of those relationships. I don't feel comfortable forgiving some of those people that have hurt me in my life. I just don't feel comfortable. And I'm here to tell you, do it anyway. Do it anyway, because Ruth did it anyway. And because she did the uncomfortable, God blessed her so deeply. So deeply. She became the wife of Boaz. She got to know Naomi's God for her God. Oh man, this is my prayer for you today. This is my prayer for you for 2017. I don't want to be mentoring the same people I mentored in 2016. I want you to get it together. I want you to get a hold of the truth. I want you to know that you're called to do the uncomfortable. I want you to get it, man. I mean, it literally brings tears to my eyes because I feel like so many is that your dream and your promises are just slipping through the fingers of your hands, and they're going by the wayside because you're too scared to do the uncomfortable. Do it anyway. Amen. I didn't feel comfortable writing a book. I've said it so many times that English was my second language. And I didn't really feel comfortable doing it. But I did it anyway. And 5 books later, I'm still writing because I chose to do the uncomfortable. I didn't feel comfortable getting up and preaching in front of a bunch of people. But I did the uncomfortable, and God blessed it anyway. God blesses me each time I step out in an uncomfortable space and sphere. He blesses me. And all I can tell you is do it anyway. Do it anyway. Praise God. Praise God. Woo! That's some word that'll set you free right there. You get a hold of this, it's going to set you free. All right. If you're still in bondage after this word, that's your own fault because there's revelation here and you need to get a hold of it and run your race. All right. You know what I say? Go out there, be willing to be an answer to someone else's prayer today. Woohoo! Amen. That, even in that me telling you to do that, makes you uncomfortable. Do it anyway. God bless you. Bye-bye.